Hello everyone, welcome back to The Media Couple. I'm Rory and I'm here with...
Sophie. Hello, that is me. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening, watching, wherever you are, however you're hearing my voice.
However you're hearing us.
Yeah.
Just going to do that usual thing again at the top of the video. If I could please get you to like, comment, subscribe to us if you're watching on YouTube. It really, really does help and we absolutely appreciate your continued support. And if you're listening to us on Apple Podcast or Spotify, if you could please leave us a review on there, it would be really helpful as well. Thank you.
What he said. I agree.
Yeah, all that gibberish.
I concur.
I concur. Well, thank you. Well, let's stop, listening to me say things. And
Isn't that the point of this whole
No, actually,
thing?
no, let's not stop. Let's keep listening to me say things.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is, Sophie, what are we talking about today?
Yeah, what we're talking about today. Well, we are going to be talking about two new shows. One is called Devil in the Family, The Fall of Ruby Franke, which is on Disney Plus at the moment.
It was good.
Yep. And the other one is called Last One Laughing. LOL, Last One Laughing.
LOL. Lol.
Which is on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
And then we've got the Rotten Tomatoes game, which is actually coming back with a little bit of a fun version. It's all the best comedies.
Oh, okay. We're going for the funny podcast.
We're going
today.
for the funny podcast. Well, we're not going for the funny podcast. We're just going funny films, funny movies.
So this isn't a live, recording of our stand-up gig.
No.
Right.
No.
Our slapstick comedy double act.
No.
That's a no.
It's a no from me. Oh dear. But yes.
Well, before we get into the fun, let's start talking about Devil in the Family.
Yeah. Well, so we watched this the other day. It's a 3-parter on Disney Plus. 3-parter, is it?
Yeah, I think it was 3 parts.
I can't even remember when we watched it like 4 days ago.
Yeah.
It is good though. It's really good. Would recommend.
Yes.
It basically is about this woman who started a YouTube channel called 8 Passengers.
Ruby Franke.
It was a family vlogging channel. So she had all of her children basically, and they do the typical family vlogging, which not going to lie, not sure how I feel about that.
Yeah.
But anyways, it kind of goes downhill from there. And it turns out she was a devil in the family. And
as per the title.
Yeah. And horrifically abused her children.
In the end. Yeah. In the end, it got really dark and quite bad.
And we won't tell you exactly how it ends because I don't want to spoil it for you. But, you can assume. And it's basically the story of how that happened and how that descent into the horrific abuse sort of came to be.
And sort of her mental decline, basically.
Yeah.
And how she viewed her children in the end.
And how she viewed herself. And I thought it was really interesting because so much of our world today is online. And what we present online and this presenteeism, I suppose, that you need to be perfect.
Yeah.
And she was very much of that mentality. So it wasn't that she wanted to be the best mum. She wanted to be seen to be the best mum.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And there's those. So it was, how can I be seen to be the best mum? And it wasn't about being, helpful to her children or a good parent in that sense that would, bring up children who were well-rounded and emotionally secure. It was, how can I present that that's what I'm doing? And those two things don't always intertwine.
And no, absolutely not. And I think that's the thing. I mean, it started, there were signs with her from the beginning that they sort of sowed the seeds, if you will, in those earlier episodes. Like in episode 1, that she sort of started the family vlogging channel, which was absolutely fine. And it grew enormously, didn't it?
Yeah, it grew really quickly. I mean,
over 2 million subscribers.
She was doing it in sort of the 20 teens.
Yeah.
Which was when that kind of family vlogging became really, really, really big.
Yeah.
If you remember. I mean, I think it's interesting also because this show has brought about conversations about family vlogging within the show itself. 2 of her children have basically said that they wish that their parents had never put them online.
Her oldest daughter, who appears in the show,
Yeah.
actively campaigns against it.
Yeah.
She's like campaigning against parents having the right to basically, present their children online, and record them.
And I think it's really interesting as well because that conversation is also happening off the back of adolescence.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
which we talked about last week.
Yeah.
So you've got adolescence, which is bringing up all these ideas of children are online and they're, being online and the incel culture that brings. But then what this show does, Devil in the Family, is it shows how that culture of online, which isn't even part of the adolescent story, can also create these extreme scenarios where people will go to lengths to create the perfect life.
Yeah.
Even if it means their real life is not great.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And then you bring kids into the mix of all of this and it makes me think more and more, like we grew up in an era where we were allowed online because we didn't really know, nobody knew what it was really going to do.
And as well, like we grew up in an era where people were sort of dipping their toes in. Like we didn't know what this was, this brand new sort of medium.
No.
We had no idea what it was, what it could do. And slowly but surely, we've been growing up in an age where we're discovering what it can do.
Yeah. And I think I would say we're sort of the first generation who have been in a situation where we've grown up with social media and are now at a point where we're starting to have children or think about having children. Yeah. And it's like, do you want that? Because what it was back when we first went online is not what it is today. I mean, I think about the first time I joined Facebook, I was 13 and that was the age when you're allowed to join it. But it was also it just so happened to be that's when people started talking about it.
Yeah, yeah.
And all I was doing was poking my friends, right? That was it.
Yeah, loving things or liking things.
I wasn't seeing, it wasn't a thing to be an influencer at that point. And, or even have other people's opinions come to me and adult opinions, me to see adult opinions.
Yeah.
I wasn't seeing that at that age.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I feel like as well, we're sort of, we're sort of coming to an age now in social media where there is so many different opinions that, kids are obviously going to watch and listen to, right? Because sort of, the YouTube algorithm pushes kids in, every direction, doesn't it? To try and discover when you sign up as that initial profile, what you like and what you want. So it's going to show you those things that, you as a parent may not necessarily want your kid looking at. And I guess it's like we touched on earlier, like with Ruby Franke, right, with the show, is that they were loved by so many and her following was huge because it was like, look at that family. The 8 Passengers YouTube channel is incredible. It's all the things I wish my kids were doing and what, I'd love to aspire to be that, Oh,
totally. And I think that's the thing that's so interesting is a lot of the stuff the content that we're seeing on television now is really talking about the things that are happening online because that's such a huge part of our culture.
Yeah.
And, our lives as adults, but also children's lives.
Absolutely.
And it's really making its way into every aspect of society now.
It does feel like it's just everywhere at the moment, doesn't it? Like every single way you turn, it's stuff about, incel or bad things happening online or things not being presented the way they are. And it just feels like that's just quite current at the moment.
Yeah, it is. And that's why we're seeing it out in the wild.
Absolutely. And that's why we're talking about it now.
Absolutely. Exactly.
But yeah, if you haven't seen the show, definitely recommend going and watching it. Yeah. It's really interesting. It's like quite sad as well. Just sort of how it evolves and the lengths some people will go to present the perfect image online.
Yeah. And I know the team who worked on it and they're great.
Brilliant team.
So well done to that team.
Yeah.
They did really well.
Yeah.
So that's the latest Disney Plus show.
Yeah.
And then I thought we were watching this the other day because I think it's also been a lot of really heavy stuff lately that we've been watching.
It has been quite an intense.
Which is great. Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm not complaining. We've had some great shows, but Rory and I were sitting there going, I just want something easy.
Light.
I
mean, it has both been our birthdays.
It has
over
been
the last 2 weeks.
Yes.
And I think we were, as Sophie said, ready to be like, let's have a laugh.
Yeah. So we went in search for a good laugh and we found this show called Last One Laughing.
Yeah.
Now, I looked it up online in research for this pod after watching it. And there was a news article that came up that said, Last One Laughing is the biggest show you've never heard of. And it's true. It is a huge show and nobody's talking about it.
I know. I didn't know this.
No.
Yeah.
So Amazon Studios have been rolling out this series, this format in different countries since 2016.
Wow.
Right? They have currently got...
So nearly 10 years.
They've currently got 28 versions of this show.
Wow.
In different territories, right?
Wow.
Now, the concept of the show is pretty simple. It's 10 comedians who are locked into a room for 6 hours, and their one rule is you can't laugh.
Yep. Not even like a smirk, even. No,
and
nothing.
So, so obviously, as soon as possible, everybody's going to try and make everybody laugh.
Yep.
It's really funny, but I thought it was really interesting, and we really enjoyed the show.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Really funny. It's got hosted by Jimmy Carr. It's got the contestants are Richard Ayoade, Daisy May Cooper, Bob Mortimer, Joe Lycett, Rob Beckett. There's just to name a few of them. There's 10 of them.
There's loads more.
I won't rattle off all the names, but really good cast.
Really strong.
Yeah. And they've got about 28 versions. So then after we finished, because it's not fully out yet, the UK version. So after the UK version finished, I was like, right, I'm going to go searching for some of the other versions. So I watched the Ireland version, the Australia version.
The Canadian version.
Which is actually really funny.
Went and had a look at, the Canadian one was really good, yeah.
But it was really interesting because obviously we haven't heard about any of these shows anywhere,
never.
right? And it's because each country and each territory has its own type of comedy.
Yeah.
Right? So the comedy that works in Australia isn't necessarily going to work here in the UK because it's not really that funny to the UK audience.
Yeah, it does. It's not as relatable.
No, exactly. And I was watching the Ireland one and the Australian one, and they were funny. Look, don't get me wrong; those comedians are funny in their own right, but nowhere near as funny as we found
the British version.
Which then goes to explain why you've got 28 versions of this. And it's just such a brilliant idea because it must take no money to produce.
Yeah, I was going to say, the thing that threw me with watching it was just it looks like Big Brother, but it's only 6 hours.
Yeah.
So you're talking there's probably obviously more days for pre-lighting and things like that and rehearsals and stuff. But realistically, you've got
probably no rehearsals because it's a fixed rig.
I guess, yeah. But it's a fixed rig like Big Brother, but it doesn't go on for a month or whatever. Yeah. And then you're right, you just put a load of funny people in a room and just hit record.
I know.
And that's...
It's one day, and you get 6 episodes out of it.
And whoever the IP of it to sell it to all those territories is brilliant because no wonder it's been sold to it because it's such a simple format in a way. Yeah. It's we get a load of funny people in a room.
Costs no money to make.
Yeah, it costs no money. Yeah, we get a load of funny people in a room, no matter what country they're from. This can go to everywhere. Yeah. Everywhere on the planet.
Well, that's the point. They just go, right, well, who are the funny comedians in XYZ country?
Yeah.
And okay, we'll book 10 of those people, put them into a room for one day in a studio somewhere. It only takes the comedians one day, so they're not taking huge times out of their schedule.
No.
And you get 6 episodes out of it. It's a brilliant, brilliant idea because it's so simple to make and is so cost effective.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's funny. It's really, really funny. Oh
God, it's so funny. It's so funny. I mean, I was on the floor when I watched Jay Wilkinson.
Yeah.
And he's like,
we won't spoil it.
No, sorry. Yeah, I won't say the joke, but it is just amazing. And like you say, the comedy lineup in the UK one, but that's the thing with the UK one, I started seeing it all over my TikTok. I saw it on buses. Yeah. I saw it on the TV, I started seeing it advertised loads of places, and then we watched it, and then it was Laugh Out Loud Island, Last One Laughing Island, Last One Laughing Canada. Do you know what I mean? It's wow, this exists everywhere.
I know. It's the best show you've never heard of.
Yeah, that's a good headline for an article. Yeah. I like that, yeah.
The biggest show you've never heard of, Last One Laughing. Go watch it. It's great. It's hilarious. It's out at the moment. Yeah. I think they've got 4 episodes out. I mean, we're doing the press for it now.
Yeah, absolutely.
PR team should be paying us.
They should, yeah.
But no, it is really good. And we enjoyed it. And I think it's a nice little easy watch if you are just wanting something that's not gonna make you think too much.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And just a bit of light-hearted comedy. Lovely.
Exactly, which is what we like.
Yeah. We also did watch Amandaland.
Oh, we did, yes.
We did, which was really good.
That's off the back of Motherland.
Yes.
It's a spin-off,
yeah.
which Amandaland's just as funny.
As funny, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, go and watch that. It is brilliant. And yeah, I mean, I don't want to spoil that for you, but yeah, go and watch some comedies.
So there you go. We've given you homework. You've got Devil in the...
Devil in the Family.
Devil in the Family, The Fall of Ruby Franke.
The Fall of Ruby Franke. Not a comedy.
Not a comedy.
Not a comedy.
No. Last One Laughing, LOL UK on Amazon Prime. Amandaland.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen Motherland, then you need to go watch Motherland before you've seen Amandaland.
Go watch all of them.
So that's your homework.
Yeah, that's your homework, team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yes, on that note, homework, shall we move on to the Rotten Tomatoes game?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go.
All right. So as I said at the beginning, this week we are going to be doing comedies. British comedies specifically.
Excellent.
So if you don't know the game, I mean, I say this every week, where have you been? The game is basically, I go through, give a title of a film. Roy then tells me what he thinks the critic's score is on Rotten Tomatoes and the audience score. I tell him if he's right or wrong. We talk about it and move on.
Yep.
That's the game.
And I'm always like 2% off.
Yeah, you are.
Or like last week I did quite well, I thought.
Last week you cheated.
No, I didn't.
You did. Do not lie. I can see you currently looking at my piece of paper. I feel like I might need to get a big board up so that you can't see anything. So you're just going to sit there and be like, oh, no, I got it wrong. I'm like, no, you didn't get it wrong. You just... Anyways.
The game.
The game. It's very heated in here. So... the first film is Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery.
Oh, Austin Powers.
Elizabeth Hurley.
Baby.
Oh, yeah.
Mike Myers.
Mike Myers.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
I've lost my mojo.
It's a great show.
Austin Powers, Man of Mystery.
International Man of Mystery.
International Man of Mystery. Mm-hmm. Critic score, 60%.
Okay.
Audience score, 73.
Oh, okay. So the critic score, 73%.
Oh.
The audience score is 77%.
Okay, so in the 70s, that's fine.
I thought it would have done better than that, to be fair.
What, critically?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like, correct me if I'm wrong here, but like, I can't imagine loads of like, do film critics like comedies? I mean, do you know what I mean? Like,
well, we're about to find out.
I like comedies, but I'm just saying, like, I can imagine a critic being like, well, that wasn't funny.
Yeah, but the critics don't like comedies because the Oscars doesn't like comedies.
Yeah,
but
like...
I don't think that... I mean, I've always said this. I know this is going to be a bit of a sidebar at the moment, but I think that the Oscars should have separate categories. It should be best comedy and best drama because we always know that best drama is going to win, like the best dramatic film, you know, the Oscar kind of film.
Yeah.
And it completely discounts the comedy element, which it's so skillful to be able to put together a great comedy. It takes so much skill.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's one element of our industry that really is lacking in terms of industry recognition, is showing the best of our comedic actors and films and directors and creatives.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it wasn't it like quite a big deal a few years ago? Was it The Holdovers? That got into like that was up for best film, and I remember people being like, "Oh my god, a comedy film is in that category." I mean, it's never going to win, as you say, because it's always against the like drama films, but
it's against who's like, you know, lost the most weight and been through the most horrific ordeal. Which I understand.
It did win, didn't it, for the supporting actress? She won in that. I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but I think she did. But the film itself didn't win.
The film didn't win.
Yeah.
But I think there should be something in the comedy space because it's a completely different, like the timing. Editing a comedy is all about timing.
Yeah, I imagine it's a difficult thing to do.
You know, and it's just such a different skill. Obviously, editing a drama is also about timing. I'm not saying there's no timing involved in that. However, you guys get loads of recognition. So let's just, you know, share the load.
Let's have a laugh.
Cute. Anyways, that was a bit of a spin-off. Going back to the Rotten Tomatoes game, Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, you've got red on you.
There's a girl in the garden.
What?
There's a girl in the garden.
There's a girl.
Yep.
Go to the Winchester. Sorry, I love Shaun of the Dead. Critic score. I'm going to go 80%. Mm-hmm. Audience score, 88%.
Okay, critically, 92%.
Yeah, I thought it'd do well. Yeah.
Yeah. And audience score, 93%.
Yes.
Did really well. And well deserved. Also, the guy from Shaun of the Dead.
Yep, Simon Pegg.
Nope, the other one.
Nick Frost.
Yep, Nick Frost.
Yep.
I knew. Yep. He is rumoured to be playing Hagrid in the new HBO series.
I quite like that.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. I think he'd actually be really good. That's one of like the most exciting casting so far for me.
Yeah.
I love Nick Frost.
I think he would be really good. But yes, I thought that was a little bit of a interesting, seeing as we talked about HBO Harry Potter series. Potter, yes. But let's not go back down that road. Right, the next one, Mr. Bean's Holiday.
Oh, Rowan Atkinson.
Yeah, not the original Bean.
No, Mr. Bean's Holiday.
The holiday one.
I'm going to go lower. Critic score, 60%.
Okay.
Audience, 55.
Right. Critically, 51%.
Oh, okay.
Audience, 49.
Yeah, I thought it would be quite low. Yeah.
Did you not find it that funny?
No, I did. I just feel like it's kind of like Mr. Bean was written so long ago, right?
Yeah.
And like that character, when they did Mr. Bean's Holiday, I felt like it came out in like, I don't know, in the later 2000s or in the middle.
I want to say 2007, but don't quote me.
Or 2007 maybe, yeah. Like that sort of era. I just feel like people were getting a bit like done with sort of slapstick style comedy, if that makes sense.
I mean, Rowan Atkinson.
I mean, yeah, look, I like Mr. Bean and I like Rowan Atkinson, all right? All right?
All right.
I love him.
Got it. All right. Well, last one of the game, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. You're just laughing at the thought of
I just love this show.
Something's really funny, guys.
Oh, sorry, I'm just thinking about all the good quotes from that show, from that film. From that film, yeah. That's just amazing.
We've lost him, guys.
Yeah. You must cut down a tree with a herring. A herring. We are no longer the knights who say ni. We are now the knights who say eki eki patang zupba. Sorry, you just can't bring up films like 100% on both. I'm going for it.
Okay.
It's so good.
Critically, it got 96%. Audience score, 95%.
Oh, it should be 100.
It should be 100.
Who does not like that film? Come on.
Well, I think a lot of people probably haven't seen it.
Well, they need to see it.
Yeah. Well, this is our
Disregard
PSA.
all the other films we've talked about on this podcast so far. Ever. The whole of this series.
What about Life of Brian? Would you say they have to watch The Holy Grail or Life of Brian?
Both. Watch all of them.
Which one first?
Oh, Life of Brian.
You think Life of Brian over The Holy Grail?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think Life of Brian, yeah. Yeah.
Why?
I'm Brian and says my wife. I just feel like...
he has a wife, you know.
I just feel like...
This is going to sound so weird to anybody who doesn't know this movie.
It's going to be really weird.
These films.
They'll be like, maybe I should go watch that weird film. No. I mean, I just feel like Life of Brian, if you're getting into Monty Python, it's a really good place to start. Mm-hmm. And then you just fall more and more in love with it. Out of the three...
Anybody who wants to know anything about comedy needs to watch
Monty Python.
Yeah. Like that is an absolute non-negotiable. You have to watch those films.
And I feel like you look at Monty Python and you have to go, John Cleese and, the guys that wrote it.
I was about to say John Hamm.
Well, Michael Palin and everyone else, the Monty Python team.
Yeah.
They wrote comedy that's so good that we're talking about it now. And those films came out before me and you were born. But yet we quote them so much, and they've just entertained audiences throughout the ages. And I just think
it's brilliant.
Now that is great comedy.
It's very clever. It's really clever. But yes, so that concludes the podcast for today, guys. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for listening. And please go off and watch all the things that we have just told you to go and do.
Just go have a laugh.
And report back.
Yeah, absolutely, as Sophie said. And thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate your ongoing support. And please subscribe to the channel to hear more of our ramblings. Please like and comment this video. And if you're listening to us once again on Apple or Spotify, please leave us a review. Thank you so much.
Thanks for being here, guys. See you next week.